We're going to start in a standing player versus a seated player, okay? And one universal thing to always consider when we're playing jiu-jitsu, because I know it's your first class, right? You trained before? Yeah. How long have you been training? 2.5 years. Oh, okay. Never mind. All right, well, this is good. Just a good reminder then. We always want to be looking to get on top, stay on top, and hold the other person down, all right? So that's something that's always occurring when we play all these games. So I just want to keep that in mind while we're going forward here, all right? First game today, standing player versus seated player. Top player, my job is going to be to do whatever I need to do, make connections in order to put Mike on his back and keep him there, okay? And once he's here, I'm gonna look to continue to keep him on his back. I want his back on the floor for as much time as possible. While I'm doing that, I cannot go chest to chest, and I cannot go knees to floor. So I can put my hands on him, my head, my knees, my elbows, whatever you want to get creative with, that's fine. But at no point should my knee touch the floor, and at no point should I go chest to chest, okay? You can't win, so it's just gonna be continuous. Just keep him on his back. Bottom player, you're going to try to stay seated as much as possible, so on your butt. You cannot stand up, so this is going to be a game where you stay here. And you're also going to be looking to make connections on the top player with your hands, knees, feet, and elbows in order to destabilize me, knock me over to my hands, butt, hips, or back. If you're able to do that, that's a win for the bottom player. You're going to stop and just stand back up. Same person on top, same person on bottom for 3 minutes, and then we'll switch top and bottom. Any questions? All right, that's it.
Standing up. I'm trying to stand up?
No. Bottom player is just going to stay seated. Okay, so your job is to stay on your butt, so stay off of your back, stay seated, and look to make connections in order to destabilize the top player.
Now I'm awake.
Any questions? Any other questions? Let's do it. 1, 2, 3. So this next one, one thing that's generally good is to gain inside position. Okay, so existing between our partner's knees, okay, for both the top and the bottom player. So we're going to start in a structure where bottom player is going to be on their back, and I'm going to have already gotten my inside position here, okay? So I've won this battle. Let's just back up just here. I've won this battle, and I've gotten here. My job for 3 minutes, as best you can, is to maintain this structure, okay? So maintain this inside positioning, okay? If I lose it, I'm going to get it back. Bottom player, your job is to recapture inside position. So yeah, you're going to be pummeling and whatnot and getting here. Now, your job on the bottom is once you get here, once you have inside position, you are allowed to destabilize the top player. If you knock them to their hips, butt, or back, that's a win. If you knock them to their hands, keep going. Top player can fight out of it. Bottom player, keep them on their hands for as long as possible. That can be a continuous game, and that's fine. It's a good skill to be able to keep somebody on their hands. If this happens as a top player, I'm going to look to get back in and recapture the knee line here, okay? If I can get this, it's good for me, and I'm going to maintain this as long as possible. No way for the top player to win. Bottom player, if you destabilize to hips, butt, or back, you win. If you get them to the hands, I'm going to keep going. Any questions? Let's do it. 1, 2, 3. So just a quick reminder, when we play these games, guys, I'm giving you guys like a task focus, something to pay attention to, an intention of what we're trying to work on. So try your best to stay within the parameters of that game or the task. The reason being is you are going to improve your skills at jiu-jitsu and whatever you're doing is when you're making intentional choices, right? When you're making a choice to do something. If I make a choice to pummel my legs to the inside to get inside position, I'm going to improve at that skill, right? If I don't think about that, if I'm not actively thinking about that, I'm not going to improve at that, okay? And that's why we break these games down. That's why we do these little constraints, these little games, these little small-sided games to improve on those skills. And we'll as we go, we're gonna open things up for more variability like what we're doing right now. So same starting position, okay? So I'm gonna start inside the knees. All right, I've dominated this situation. I've gotten inside the knees, okay? I've passed the line of the feet to get to the line of the knees. Now what I want to do is I want to progress past the line of the hips, all right, to get to a pin, a chest to chest or chest to back pin. A pin in jiu-jitsu is anytime my partner, so in this case, Mike's shoulder blades are covered. Right now they're covered by the mat, but I don't have anything on his chest yet, so he's not technically pinned. Or if I was able to get a chest to back control, if that makes more sense. My chest is covering his shoulders, that's also a pin. So we're looking to get to a chest to chest or chest to back pin, but the only constraint here is I only want you to pass the line of the knees through the middle. So we're already starting here. So this is good. We're gonna look to, you can look to progress, you can look to staple the legs down, you can look to, so whatever you wanna do here, okay? You wanna get through the middle of the knees. Mike is gonna play the same exact game as last time, okay? No difference. He's gonna look to repummel his legs to the inside, and once he's there, he's looking to destabilize me to my hips, butt, back. That's a reset. Or if he puts me on my hands, he's gonna keep me there as long as possible, okay? If I get here on top, I'm gonna repummel to the inside and then progress again through the middle, trying to get past the line of the hips. Okay, yeah?
Can you explain why you would want, from top game, why you would want to be both legs inside? This was really hard to maintain that.
So, yeah. So first of all, general thing is it is preference. It's not always like you have to be inside or you have to be outside. Okay, we're just working on that kind of skill. However, when you consider leg entanglements, okay, leg locks, generally, I'm not gonna say every single time, but generally, whoever's dominating the inside position is gonna be dominating the leg entanglement game, okay? So it's typically better to have that inside position for control purposes. Also, your ability to control the other player is a lot easier when you have inside position versus outside position, right? It's very hard for me to control Mike right now from the outside. It's not impossible by any means, but the second I step inside here, right, now I can start dictating what his body is and isn't able to do, okay? Does that make sense? Okay. And then again, just so you can see, the majority of leg entanglements are gonna originate, from these inside positions. So typically, to avoid that is I'm gonna look to get inside position myself. Great question. All right, so sorry, just quick recap. Top player, starting in inside position here, I'm looking to progress to a chest-to-chest pin or a chest-to-back pin through the middle of the legs. Make connections in front of the legs, however you wanna do it, to get in front, okay? Bottom player, looking to repummel the inside, destabilize the hips, butt, or back, or put me on my hands and keep them there for as long as possible. Let's do it, 1, 2, 3. All right, so we're gonna start in a chest-to-chest alignment, bottom players on their back, and I have them pinned, okay? You can start in whatever alignment that you'd like, as long as you're in front of the line of the hips and you're chest-to-chest. My job as the top player is to keep him on his back, okay? Keep him pinned. If at any point he comes up off of his back, I'm gonna look to get him back down, okay? That's my only job, all right? However, while doing this, I cannot stop moving. I have to continuously move while keeping him pinned, okay? The game, there's no way to win for the top player. It's a continuous game. You're just gonna look to keep maintaining movement. Bottom player, you are going to look to stand up. So the only way to win is to stand up. You can do that by making connections with hands, elbows, feet, and knees to manage distance with my body, and then use that to get to your feet. If you get to your feet, that's a win. However you go about doing that is fine with me. I don't care, just get up, all right? Top player, again, if at any point their back disconnects from the floor, your job, put it right back down. I want Mike to stay here for as long as possible. You have 3 minutes, try to maintain it for 3 minutes, okay? Any questions? Let's do it, 1, 2, 3. So we're gonna start again in a chest-to-chest alignment, but I am gonna be off to the side, or I can be aligned parallel with him, up to you, all right? My job, actually, no, I'm sorry. I want you off to the side, one side or the other. You are going to, top player, you're gonna maintain chest-to-chest position, maintain a pin, while looking to cover both sides of the hips, okay? So we're starting here, like so, and I'm gonna look to maintain a chest-to-chest pin and look to get something on each side of the hips. If I'm able to do that, that's gonna be a win. That can happen from a chest-to-chest alignment or a chest-to-back alignment, okay? Once you have the chest covered or the back covered, so a pin, and you have both sides of the hip covered, that'll be a win for you, okay? Reason we're doing that is pins and covering the hips lead to immobilization, which is ultimately what we're looking for in jiu-jitsu, is to immobilize the other person in order so we can go and attack their neck or arms or legs, all right? Bottom player, you have the same exact job as last game, which is make connections with your elbows and hands, feet and knees in order to manage distance. And your options now are still you can stand up, or you can reverse the position, or you can get to a seated guard. If you can get to a seated guard with all 4 limbs facing the top player, that's gonna be a win for the bottom player. So a few ways to win for this game. All right, any questions? Let's do it, 1, 2, 3. We're gonna start from the mounted position, so I have both sides of his hips covered. This is gonna be a scaling game depending on what you're comfortable with. If you know precursor positions, so what that means is positions that lead to submissions, so a threat of a submission, and go ahead and finish, you can go for it. So if you want, if you can attack for submissions and see it through to finish, okay? All submissions are on. If you're not quite there or not quite as confident, that's fine. What I want you to do is maintain the top position. That's the most important thing, right? Get on top, stay on top, hold the other person down. So maintain this position and look for opportunities to pin the other person's hand to the mat, okay? And keep it there as long as possible. So if you're looking for submissions, that's fine. If you're not quite there yet or you're not as confident, look to pin hands to the mat in any way possible, okay? Bottom player, same goal as the last 2 games. Make connections with your feet, knees, elbows, and hands to manage space in order to either stand up, reverse position, or get back to a seated guard with all 4 limbs facing the top player. All right? Any questions? Let's do it. 1, 2, 3.